Hi, my name is Brian Devine. I have decided to do an experiment on how caffeine consumption affects the human body. For someone that works in a field that has such long hours, caffeine is how I fuel my body each and every day. I wanted to take a tolerance break from caffeine for a little bit and then test the effects of how long I stayed up, how my blood pressure was affected, and my heart rate between the effects of no caffeine, caffeine within coffee, and caffeine within an energy drink, specifically the pre workout drink C4. My hypothesis that I will be testing in this experiment is that caffeine contained in energy drinks will provide me with more energy than coffee, but the coffee will be a clean burst of energy and not induce a crash or a complete lack of energy from consuming too much caffeine. The reason this is because coffee is natural caffeine, whereas energy drinks are synthetically made inside a lab. The energy drink will give me a higher burst, though, since it is not man-made and it has been engineered for perfection. A few things in this experiment are going to need to remain constant. One of those things is the amount of caffeine I intake per day. FDA guidelines recommend 400 milligrams of caffeine. This will be a baseline since that is a healthy amount to consume, and not too much or not too little that it would have no effect. Second thing that needs to remain constant is the amount of hours of sleep I'll get per night. Because if I don't get enough sleep, or not an equal amount of sleep, the caffeine will have drastically different effects. And the third thing that needs to remain constant, or that I need to figure out, is I need to get a baseline of how my body reacts and how much energy I produce without having any caffeine. On the first day of my experiment, I started with taking data for no caffeine. This baseline will then establish the effects that caffeine had on my body when I compare them to this. For these stats, I went to bed at 11 p.m. My heart rate was 74 beats per minute, and my blood pressure was 130/70 millimeters of mercury. Next up was coffee. I took 400 milligrams of coffee sparingly throughout the day, within an hour of each other throughout the day. I went to bed around 7 p.m. This is when I started to feel tired. My blood pressure under coffee was 150/88 millimeters of mercury. My heart rate was 89 beats per minute. Next up was the energy drink C4. I did the same thing I did with the coffee, measuring out 400 milligrams of caffeine as per FDA guidelines. I drank each dose an hour apart, just like the coffee as well. I began to feel tired around 12 a.m. My heart rate was 104 beats per minute, and my blood pressure was 170/95 millimeters of mercury. These are the graphs representing my data. I was very surprised by the results of this experiment. I really didn't expect me to crash with coffee at all. I drink coffee all the time, and normally I don't crash after. This could be a result of me having so much caffeine that the coffee is not strong enough to induce a crash. I have crashed with energy drinks before, and I was surprised that almost I had no crash with with the energy drink I have taken. I also don't drink this particular energy drink, but it was free in my refrigerator, so I use this for the experiment. Ways I could have improved this experiment are I could have done this experiment over a period of more days. I also could have had multiple individuals participate in this experiment, both male and female, fit and unfit, and people that have never taken caffeine in their life before. In conclusion, coffee is healthier for you, but energy drinks will give you a boost that'll last you through the day. So the result of this experiment really results in what you're looking for out of your caffeine. Thank you. Have a nice day.